On a Friday night, the 16th of January in the year 2026. I can't say that we've achieved sky dark, but I did want to give you a early view of NGC 1161, and we will get to it later again in the evening. And once we do so, we'll want to compare the images. This should be 1161. It has a neighbor. So mark that. I'll give you the data at the time. It's about an 11th magnitude galaxy. So we're going to be covering the 1150 to 1200 series tonight. Well, 1199 anyway. And the results, hopefully, we'll be able to get everything in without roof blockages. I'm starting quite early. I'll give you lots of information about the overarching impact of sky dark ending up later and later as we progress deeper towards the summer solstice as part of this Quattro tour, night sky tour of the NGC series. Okay, as you can tell by the background sky, we're pretty deep south. NGC 1150, our kickoff, is a galaxy in Eridanus. Magnitude 15, 9 by 0.9 by 0.6 arc-minute lenticular spiral. So it's about 14th magnitude, 396 million light years distant, puts it about 110,000 light years in diameter. I'm going to assume that it's going to be somewhere in the field here as we dip further south. I'm seeing a faint galaxy here. But let's note this star because it may be this one here and this other galaxy may turn up later. NGC 1150, 2 hours, 57 minutes, 1 second with a declination of minus 1502.55. Okay, NGC 1150 had a neighboring galaxy, NGC 1151. I'm assuming this is 50 and this is 51, although I cannot be sure. Once again, adventuresindeepspace.com, poke in the NGC value, and you can get information and refer to this screen by pausing it to see if you can find your way around. NGC 1151 is a 15.9 magnitude, 0.4 by 0.3 arc-minute elliptical, which means it's probably somewhere around 14.5 magnitude. RA 25704 with a declination of minus 15 degrees and 48 seconds. I'll push the magnification up a bit for the two of them, since we expose more pixels and can get a better, brighter view. NGC 1152 is another galaxy in Eridanus, but further north, magnitude 15.9 by 0.6 arc-minute lenticular spiral, so it's probably around magnitude 14, 233 million light years distant. Should be quite visible on the screen. We are further north, but we can never tell. All right, so let me give you some data on it. I'm not seeing it here, but I'll put it back in the center of the field. Maybe we'll drop off a little bit. All right, so there's probably some fainties right in here. RA is 257.33, declination minus 745.33. I want to advise the sky is not as transparent as it was last night. We're looking for NGC 1153, galaxy in Cetus, magnitude 12.4. We should expect it to be, there's a faint there, but that's way too faint. It's 1.3 by 1.3 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase a. We may be seeing the core right there with some faint haziness around it. 140 million light years distant. It's at right ascension 258.10, declination plus 321.41. This could be a disappointing series tonight. All I can say is I've got to get her done anyway. You can just see how much of an improvement we get in presence when we go to 100% e-zoom, 150x, and expose all the pixels. Okay, our experimentation has shown that usually I gain about 3 magnitudes when I go from 20% e-zoom, 30x, to 100% e-zoom, which is 150x. In this case, we're exposing a magnitude 14 galaxy, which I believe is right there. And it probably makes sense. I'm going to give you the type. It's 1 by 0.8 arc minutes. Spire with a lowercase c, not a very bright core. 207 million light years distant, puts it about 2/3 the size, probably 70,000 light years in diameter. I'm going to drop back to 50% e-zoom. We're at right ascension 258.07 with a declination of minus 1021.49. Back down to rowing on the river again, NGC 1155, galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 14. Pushing it up to see if we can make anything out. There seems to be something there. A 1 by 0.8 arc-minute lenticular spiral, so it's probably magnitude 14, 204 million light years distant, RA 258.13 with a declination of minus 1021.01. Backing out again for that 75x view. It looks like we got a couple of very faint galaxies right there in the field. Okay, let's see what we can make out further north. We're at NGC 1156, a galaxy in Aries the Ram, magnitude 11.7. This is the one I think I was looking for earlier. Or maybe that was 65. We'll tell. Magnitude 11.7, 3.3 by 2.8 arc-minute, irregular, 23 million light years distant, so not very large, maybe 30,000 light years in diameter. I think we're making it out next to this star here. Let's see what happens when we push the magnification. Yeah, it gets more present, brighter, but more diffuse. It's right ascension 259.42 with a declination of plus 25.14.16. If I can get my mouse cursor to navigate against this mouse pad. Here we probably do not have NGC 1157 in galaxy in Eridanus. It's magnitude 16.5. Whoa, and that wouldn't be bad if it was an elliptical, but it's a spire with a lowercase b. Whoever discovered this? 0.5 by 0.1 arc minutes, so it is an Aegean-looking galaxy, and I am vaguely seeing something here in the field. 397 million light years distant, puts it at about 50,000 light years in diameter. It'll be interesting to find out what its actual magnitude is. We're at RA 258.06 with a declination of minus 1507.07. I would not expect to see it this evening that far south under such poor conditions, but we are seeing some vague luminosity present there. NGC 1158, it's another galaxy in the river, magnitude 15, 0.9 by 0.6 arc-minute spire with a bar of the lenticular class, 375 million light years distant. I would expect it to be about visual magnitude 14. Not quite making anything out in the field, however. Right ascension 257.11, declination minus 14.23.44 seconds. Backing out once again with the diffraction bar on the screen from a power line. Okay, we've gone north, as you can tell from the stellar population. Perseus is actually part of the Milky Way, so it should have a higher density of stars. It's also much further north, almost overhead. We're looking for NGC 1159, galaxy, magnitude 14, 0.5 by 0.4 arc-minute, lenticular, 117 million light years distant. And I am hardly making anything out. Oh well. This is at right ascension 3 hours and 46 minutes. We've proceeded 45 degrees since the winter solstice, roughly. Declination plus 43.09.44. I'm going to back out to our 75x view, and we're seeing something faintly right about there. So no guarantees, however. Ooh, what the heck was that? Okay, NGC 1160 is a galaxy, once again, further north in Perseus. Let's see if we can track it down in the 75x field. Magnitude 12.8, 1.9 by 0.9 arc minutes. It's a spire with a bar, lowercase c, not much of a core, with a ring, 111 million light years distant, maybe 75,000 light years in diameter. It's possible we're seeing it right there, but I do not know. because the sky conditions are not very approving. RA 30113 with a declination of plus 445717. Actually, I think it's this edgy on galaxy there, magnitude 12.8. Yes, indeed. I think this is going to be the brighter one I showed you earlier. Yes, indeed. This was 1160, kind of an edgy on. This is 1161. It's the galaxy, I believe, that I originally started off with. The field looks familiar. Galaxy in Perseus, magnitude 11, 2.8 by 2 arc minutes. Let's push it up a little bit. See its aura. 86 million light years distant, maybe 50,000 light years in diameter. We're at RA 30114 with a declination of plus 445349. I'm hoping we haven't gotten much in the way of aperture block on this pair here. Pushing it up a little further because we have a nice edge-on view and a very bright lenticular spiral to get an eye fill with. Okay, once again, we're deep down south in Eridanus galaxy, magnitude 13. Normally, a 13th magnitude would be visible on the 30x screen. Look for it. 1.4 by 1.4 arc minute size elliptical, 174 million light years distant. Right ascension 258.55, declination minus 12, 23.55, going up to our 75x view. I do believe this is our galaxy. Let's push it up a little further, 100%. That one's supposed to be magnitude 13. Not a particularly good sky tonight compared to the last two. NGC 1163 is another galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 13.8. 2.2 by 0.3 arc minute. Should be a nice edgy on spiral somewhere in this field. Pushing it up a little bit to 75x. Where, oh, where is our edge on spiral gone? Where, oh, where can it be? Wow, this is not a good night if we can't pick out an edge on spiral galaxy. Once again, this should be magnitude 13.8, should be easily seen at 30% e-zoom, but the sky is not good. There looks like something vague right about there. Okay, no go on NGC 1163. Oh, by the way, it's spiral of the bar, lowercase bc, 100 million light years distant. RA 3 hours 21 seconds, declination minus 1709.10. Heading north again at Perseus, NGC 1164, galaxy, magnitude 13.1, look for it, 1.3 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, and an angularity. We might just ordinarily on a good night of seeing pick out its frontier as a ring. Perhaps not this very evening. 189 million light years distant, RA 30159, declination plus 423506. Let's fish around a little bit. I'm not seeing much of anything. We must seriously have some high thin clouds. Okay, moving on. NGC 1166 is a galaxy in Aries. Magnitude 14, 1.2 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase ab. 344 million light years distant, puts it about 110,000 light years in diameter. We're not seeing it anywhere on the screen. There's some vague presentation right about there, however. It's at right ascension 3 hours 34 minutes with a declination of plus 1150.32. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a very disappointing night. But I got no choice. We have to push on. There will be some interesting captioning, however, to go with this astrovid. NGC 1167 is a galaxy in Perseus, magnitude 12.4, 2.8 by 2.4 arc minute lenticular, bright core. Its distance is 225 million light years, so about 180,000 light years in diameter. I think that's our galaxy there. Not a good view. RA 3 hours, 1 minute, 42 seconds with a declination of plus 35, 12, 19. Let's push it up to 100%, 150x. Yeah, it's clearly a galaxy, but not a particularly good view for a 12.4 magnitude distant galactic study. NGC 1168 is a galaxy in Aries, magnitude 14.2, 1.1 by 0.6 arc minute, spiral with the bar, lowercase b, so it's probably somewhere around magnitude 13.5. 341 million light years distant. RA is 3 hours, 47 seconds. Declination plus 11 degrees, 46 and 19. There is something faint there and there. Just, wow. Very difficult this evening. Ooh, and a brighter galaxy right about there. Okay, have to speed up. NGC 1171, Galaxy in Perseus, magnitude 12.3. 2.7 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase c, 124 million light years distant. RA 303.58, declination plus 43 degrees, 23 minutes, 53 seconds. NGC 1172, Galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 11.9, 2.3 by 1.7 arc minutes, elliptical class 1, 73 million light years distant. RA 301.36, minus 14, 50, 11 degrees in declination. NGC 1174 is also NGC 1186, Galaxy in Perseus, magnitude 11.4, 3.2 by 1.2 arc minutes. I suspect that's it down there. 120, spiral the bar, lowercase bc, 124 million light years distant, 305.30 with a declination of plus 42, 50.06. I'm sure we're getting some aperture block, but since this is one of the brighter galaxies, why don't we go ahead and center it up? NGC 1175 is another galaxy in Perseus, magnitude 12.9. We're going to assume it's further down in the screen. Oh, here's one. 1.9 by 0.7. That's our candidate right there. Spiral lowercase a, 251 million light years distant, larger than the Andromeda Galaxy. RA 304.32 plus 42 degrees, 20 minutes, and 22 seconds. NGC 1175 had a neighbor. This is the same screen. Galaxy Perseus, magnitude 12.9, 1.9 by 0.7. Let's go ahead and push them both up somewhere on the screen. It's a spiral lowercase a, 251 million light years distant, 304.32 with a declination of plus 42, 2022. In the same field and drifting towards the east, this is our original galaxy, and here's several up here. We have NGC 1177. Let's go back down for a nice lower power view. Galaxy Perseus, magnitude 14.5, 0.4 by 0.4 arc minute, spiral 248 million light years distant. RA 304.37, declination plus 42, 21.45. The galaxies are close enough together that I've gotten 24 stacks now in this region. Not bad. NGC 1179, Galaxy Eridanus, magnitude 12, large, 4.7 by 3.8 arc minute, spiral with peculiarities, 80 million light years distant. 302.38 minus 1853.54. I have no idea. Maybe something faint right there. NGC 1180 is a galaxy once again in Eridanus, a little off the other field, magnitude 15.8, 0.6 by 0.5 arc minutes. Lenticular spiral, so it's about magnitude 14.8, 418 million light years distant, about the size of our own Milky Way. RA 301.51, declination minus 1501.48. I am seeing a galaxy there, but I doubt that is our baby, possibly, but unlikely given the conditions of the evening. Very unlikely view of NGC 1181, a galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 16.4, 0.8 by 0.2 edge-on galaxy. Spiral with a lowercase b, so probably somewhere around magnitude 15.6. could be vaguely seen. 417 million light years distant. RA 30142. Declination minus 150310. I'll swish around a little bit. Something there, but there's nothing going to be definitive at that magnitude at this point. Okay, NGC 1182. Well, there's something faint right about there. Galaxy in Eridanus. It's also NGC 1205, magnitude 15.6. Spiral with a lowercase a, so it would be about 15th magnitude visual. 30328, declination minus 94015. I doubt we're seeing it. NGC 1185, Galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 15. Little hope on this one too, although there's some nothing validation otherwise. 1.2 by 0.4 arc minutes. So if you're seeing anything that looks edgy, just maybe. Spiral with a B. So it's roughly magnitude 14.2, 216 million light years distant, 30259 minus 90758. Well, sorry, folks. We're starting to get roof tribe obstruction. NGC 1186, Galaxy in Perseus. NGC, it's also 1174. We already saw it, magnitude 11.4. Good thing we caught it earlier. Anyway, we're not going to catch much above 40 degrees at this point. Everything is advanced too far to the west. NGC 1187 is a Galaxy in Eridanus. Should be a good view, except it isn't. Magnitude 10.8, 5.6 by 3.8 arc minute. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase c. 61 million light years distant. I am not getting any kind of a view here. The skies are really degraded. Oh, there's a faint galaxy there and there and there. There's three, but they're only hinted at. RA 30237, declination minus 225203. Oh yes, we are getting hints of this spiral-esque NGC 1187 right there in the screen, despite being minus almost 23 degrees of southern declination, and it's only really coming out at 150x. NGC 1188 is a Galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 14.5, 1 by 0.5 arc minutes. Lenticular spiral, 112 million light years distant, so it's about magnitude 13.5. RA 30343 with a declination of minus 152905. NGC 1189 is a Galaxy Eridanus, magnitude 13.9. I think I got to start shifting things up because I noticed that last galaxy was over here on the screen. Spiral with a bar, lowercase cd. That's got a kind of a brightish core to be our candidate for 1189. 1.7 by 1.5, 120 million light years distant, 30324 with a declination of minus 1537.24. NGC 1190 is in the same field. I'm waiting for the data to come up. Maybe I got to hit the enter button again. It's magnitude 14.2, 0.9 by 0.3 arc minute. This may be our galaxy. It's a lenticular spiral, so it's probably something around magnitude 13.2. We should have that other galaxy to the east, but I'm not seeing it, so let's check to the west. 115 million light years distant means it's probably 40,000 light years in diameter. There's a fainty there. Right, RA 30326 with a declination of minus 153944. Yes, there may be another galaxy, or it could be a faint double. Okay, there was another faint galaxy in the same field, so this may have been the last one, 1190. This may be 1191. Magnitude 14.3, 0.6 by 0.5 arc minute lenticular spiral. It should be around magnitude 13.3 then. Could be this. Nah, I'm just guessing right now. RA 30330 with a declination of minus 154108. Go to adventuresindeepspace.com and see if you can track this one down for yourself. Okay, basically the same field. This time I've reinitialized. We're looking for NGC 1192. It's a Galaxy Eridanus, magnitude 14.4, but it's an elliptical, so it should be quite bright. Possibly the one I thought was earlier, the one we were searching for, which I believe was 1189. This is 1192, magnitude 14.4, elliptical, 425 million light years distant. RA is 303.34 with a declination of minus 1540.44. And having a sweep around. Well, we're not going to see anything here. We're north in Perseus. NGC 1193 is an open cluster, magnitude 12.6. Very small, 1.5 arc minutes, 40 stars. The brightest are magnitude 14. Would have been interesting. It's a 2-3, meaning disparate magnitudes, but somewhat easily picked out among the background if you could see it. I would go to the skylive.com to look at this one. 14,500 light years distant, 305.55 plus 44.23 and odd seconds. NGC 1194 is a galaxy in Cetus. Magnitude 12.9, 1.8 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a, 180 million light years distant. Remember, everything tends to be shifted a little bit to the east for some reason tonight, although we're not picking it out. Backing off. Oh yeah, there's our galaxy there. Spiral lowercase a, 180 million light years. RA 303.49. Declination minus 106.13. I do want to show you a 150x view of this glass galaxy 1194. NGC 1195 is another one of those galaxies in Eridanus. I'm seeing something faint there and brighter there. You pick it. It's magnitude 14, 0.5 by 0.5 lenticular, which means it may be magnitude 14. 173 million light years distant. I'll frame them both. Good opportunity. There's another faint galaxy there and there. Right ascension is 303.32 with a declination of minus 1202.23. NGC 1195 had a neighbor, 1196. There's a fainty there and another fainty there against a bright background sky due to high thin clouds. Magnitude 14, 1.4 by 1.4 lenticular spiral, 149 million light years distant. This is probably one of our galaxies there. Oh, there's a brighter one there and a fainter one there. So we've got 3 galaxies in the field. AdventuresInDeepSpace.com to distinguish them. Let's move on. Oh, I didn't tell you more. RA 303.35, declination minus 1204.34. While I navigate, here's a 150x view of the last galaxy. I believe it's 1196. Okay, once again, we have complete aperture block for NGC 1198, Galaxy Perseus, magnitude 12.5, 1.9 by 1.1 lenticular spiral, 75 million light years distant, RA 306.13 with a declination of plus 41.50.56. We are losing it, folks. Everything's progressing sidereally and too far west. It takes about an hour to get through these. It's a bit of a challenge, and I do believe I'm going to cover all this in the captioning of this video. Okay, what might have been a fine galaxy to conclude on, NGC 1199, galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 11.4, 2.3 by 1.7 arc minutes. I do believe we're seeing it right there. It's an elliptical class 2, which means its visual magnitude is 11.4, 115 million light years distant. RA 3 hours, 3 minutes, 38 seconds with a declination of minus 15.36.50. Yes, indeed, the sky is overcast with clouds, and much of that pixelation you're seeing is due to water vapor, not necessarily due to the imager itself. I am just going to continue to push the magnification up on NGC 1199. And if we get to 300%, that is 450x. And we are definitely pixelating. So with that, we're going to go ahead and have a look. We got to go to, let's say 1973 tonight will be our feature in A Sword of Orion. Okay, as you can tell, the night sky is not particularly good tonight. We're barely seeing any of the Running Man Nebula here. We're featuring this region right about here. This should be 1973, 1975, and 1977, leading over to Messier 43, and then finally Messier 42. Okay, why don't we shift it over? We've got 20 more seconds on this video. Okay, what we're getting here is a nice small 30x view of the beautiful Messier 42, 43, and we're not seeing much of the running man over there at all. Let's expand the screen out. You can see the eagle's wings and beak wrapped around the bright nebulosity surrounding the trapezium. You can see the emissive nebulosity here. You can see nice texture. No matter how bad the skies are, if you can see the Sword of Orion, you can get a great view of Messier 42. With that, I say, Carpe Noctem.